Jacqui White, co-founder of Florence Kid Inspired and the Laundry Cafe.
And I'm Tosha Wilson. I'm the co-founder of the Laundry Cafe, brought to you by Florence Kid Inspired LLC. The Laundry Cafe to me is definitely where community meets necessity. We have put together a great business plan to not only just get a chore done, but we definitely have to come together as a community and with that build the economy in Evanston, the Black economy, which is dying rapidly. It's dying rapidly to the point where we don't have money circulating the way we need to, the way we used to have it. So I think that the Laundry Cafe, in addition to laundry, we have the coffee, we have the tea, we have the comfortable chairs, we have a community space that is definitely necessary. And even if it's not in the Fifth Ward, it needs to be within the historically Black community in Evanston. It just has to be, because at this point in time, we're no longer living there. Our numbers are going down and our business is dwindling. And we are going to bring together something great, and we want the community to be behind us. And Jacqui, what is the Laundry Cafe to you?
Well, the Laundry Cafe to me is an opportunity to provide a safe and clean environment to do something that we all have to do, which is our laundry. Especially because in the Fifth Ward, we don't have a laundry. So providing that space and then an opportunity to bring community into it with allowing an area where kids can actually go read a book or maybe have a book read to them. In our concept, if we have some of the youth coming to volunteer to do story time or something like that in a separate room, you can go off to the side, do that, and then come back. So, and looking back when I was a kid and going to laundromat with my people, it was always very cold and drab. The concept of having a place where you're gonna accomplish your household chore, but it's comfortable and clean and nice. It's just, I think, an awesome idea.
So this is Tiffany Wilson. She's my sister. She understands that I've had some apprehension. Jacqui and I have had apprehension about putting the Laundry Cafe on boosting Black business because they're both the brainchild of one person. And so I wanted to ask you, people have warned us not to do this, and then there are people who said you better do this. What's your take on that?
Okay, so I'm gonna start off by basically saying I don't know where and when self-advocacy became a bad thing. I feel like it's very important that we tell what we can do, you show what we can do, especially for our community. So who else is going to promote us but us as Black women? I think that is important that we promote ourselves. You and Jacqui both you have your own careers. The advice of not building your business and boosting it and putting it on the boosting Black business page, I think it's crazy. It's not like you guys need this money. You work hard, you deal with the community, you're a fam coach. Fam coaches don't get paid anything. So like right there should tell a lot about the fact that you are serious about Evanston and making sure these kids have places to go to, have clean clothes. This is not a personal thing for you guys as far as like the money goes. Like you're not doing it for, your own advantage. You're doing it for at a community standpoint, their advantage. So
one thing about washing clothes, people think, oh, it's laundry, but that is a health issue. That is a health issue where, people don't think of it as something that, we have clean clothes, but then infections and things like that, these are all protecting us from something. So that in turn connects with the community also. We have to focus on our health. We have to focus on our mindset. We have to focus on our business. We have to focus on so much. And I think the Laundry Cafe will be all encompassing of a safe place finally to be. And we want that to happen. And what do you think about the Laundry Cafe in general? I've never really asked you what you think about this idea.
actually love the idea. I think that there's no place in Evanston that you can actually go to eat, relax, study, and wash your clothes.
How important is it for you to like grow up in a town where you've always, felt accepted, but how do you feel now? Like, how do you feel right now as far as just Black business, going places and being comfortable?
I love Evanston. I just can't afford it, and to see it and come back to it, it's very foreign to me.
You work for one of the few Black businesses in town, and we no longer live in Evanston. The Laundry Cafe would bring you home?
It would make me proud, I should say. I probably still wouldn't be able to afford Evanston, but it'll definitely make me proud of where I'm already proud of where I come from, so to see a Black business opening up in Evanston definitely will make me proud.
So we're going to replant seeds so we can have new roots.
Correct.
I got
it. Yeah.
Thank you, Tiff. So I'd like to introduce you to my father. His name's Lonnie Wilson, and he's a longtime Evanston resident here in Evanston. And he wants to explain the history of Black business and why the Laundry Cafe is a necessity. Okay, Lonnie Wilson,
Yeah.
What do you remember about Black entrepreneurship in Evanston when you were growing up?
It's even deeper than Black entrepreneurship. It was about a culture of we could do it. I remember getting up in the morning. My job in the morning was to go outside and to get the empty bottles from the Home Juice Company, which was run by the Coleman family. They had home juice. They delivered fresh juice to every African-American home in the 5th Ward when I was a kid. This concept of an African-American family that I knew bringing juice to my house created this mindset. And my second job was to go outside and pick up the CCC newsletter. Now, that CC newsletter was a local newspaper produced by African-American people that I knew. So it created this idea that everything around me was African-American, self-standing, and self-motivated and self-powered. And this idea stayed with me my entire life.
And what's different now compared to then?
There was a post on Facebook that said if Mr. Burton was alive, he would be able to go outside and call a meeting and stop these shootings. And someone said to me, they said, no, these kids are different. It's a different type of child out there. And I think that protective cocoon of not only business, but culture and feeling made it safe for you and Jacqui to run out into the Mason Park at 7 o'clock in the morning like y'all was heading to the WNBA or something.
What did business do for you as a child and how you perceive yourself?
Business made me perceive myself as someone who belonged to a larger grouping, something that, I could aspire to become. But there was a political body that you could belong to. There was a business body that you belonged to. There was the African-American Y. It was just a larger feeling of I belong to something. And when they took that away, and I'm not, we won't get into how all that happened, but you look at how the businesses just slowly disappeared. When I grew up, Muffins had a restaurant on Emerson. We went and ate breakfast there. I didn't even need money to go to Muffins because she knew who my parents were. So I sit down in the restaurant. They would put the breakfast in front of me, and I'd eat it, never making an order, never reaching into my pocket to pay for it, because those people were connected to my family, which meant that I ate free. And when I went home, my mother would make sure that the money went to Muffins to pay for that breakfast. It was a sharing living thing. And that sharing living thing got yanked apart by pricing, by, business now costs, just listening to you and some of the ideas that you and Jacqui have had, and the cost of the property, and it's almost impossible for someone like you who even has a taste of this cultural cocoon to even start to build this back up. It's a daunting task, but without it, they can expect more death. They can expect more mental illness. I contend that me being able to see the Colemans bring me juice made me so confident about this juice, because I went to school with the Coleman sons. So when I drank this juice, I knew that this was a family I knew. As I'm pouring these glasses of juice in the morning, these are people I know. You know, when it says own juice, I know these people. I play baseball with these people and play in the parks with these people. It was a whole different, you know, kind of like life.
So business was part of a larger community in which made you, as a young Black child in Evanston, feel like you belonged somewhere.
Right, yes, no doubt.
So just wanted to say this is Joanne Avery, who is the mother of so many of us right here in Evanston.
My name is Joanne Avery. I've been at Family Focus for 38 years, empowering youth through education, motivation, cultivation, you name it. We have produced some great students.
I just wanted to ask you, why is the Laundry Cafe necessary for Evanston's historically Black community?
It's so important. Every year I'm at Family Focus Summer Project, and one of the skills that I teach them is going to the laundromat. These are youth aged 3rd through 9th grade. But every year I have 30 kids that I take to the laundromat. Where is the laundromat? We've never been to one in the community because there's not one. Then we had to truck all the kids in a van to Howard Street for a laundromat because I was determined to give them this skill. But why should we do that when we could just walk to a laundromat? It's so important for my families to have a laundromat to go to. A lot of my families are single parent families, so they have to take the kids with them. So when you talk about a little nook with the reading and stuff for the kids and the parents, coffee, I was just thrilled to know that you were going to do that.
But yes. How long have you been with Family Focus?
I've been at Family Focus for 38 years.
So Joanne has been with Family Focus for 38 years, right here in Evanston, where
Yes.
she has, I was 4 years old when you started at Family Focus, and she's been with us every single day. And even in my 40s,
Yeah.
she's still with us. So she would know this community better than anyone.
If this happens, which I'm not going to say if, it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. It's important. It's valuable. So my parents are ready for you to tell us what to do.
Thank you.
My name is Tiffany Holmes. I am a friend of both Tosha and Jacqui, a firm believer in what they are trying to do, lifelong Evanston resident and entrepreneur myself.
Tiffany, you know how hard Jacqui and I have worked to try to get this business off the ground. What would you say that the Laundry Cafe would mean for Black Evanston and Evanston in general?
It fills a necessity. It manages a need that has not been met. We heard how far people have had to travel just to get to a laundromat. So automatically you're eliminating that barrier. I think it also empowers the people of that community and gives them a sense of value, like, man, somebody thought we were worth this effort, this sacrifice, this movement. You give a new model of hope to the community because now they will see people who look like them in a different type of business than they've seen in the recent past.
What is this going to do for the culture, like in general, on a broader scale, the culture of Evanston, the culture of seeing Black women in positions that can potentially make money and push it forward? What do you see?
I see that planting a seed and being an idea to say that, hey, you know what, this may be a path for me as well. The fact that you've chosen to stay true to a community that has not had what they need, and that you're fighting through all the red tape, and that you're doing everything you can to raise money to be of service to the people is a model of what community really should all be about. And so to see two Black women doing that, to hear the story that you've gone through to get there, and then to see how much more you're willing to work and do for the community, it's gotta prick the hearts of the people and make them want to do more as well. I think that the time is now for this because the community needs to come together. We've had quite a violent weekend just passed. In fact, in my parents' neighborhood, 2 people were murdered within about 36 to 48 hours of each other. So healing needs to take place. It is time for us who have all these grand ideas that we post about to get involved in a tangible way. And so whether that is, if you've got a certain expertise that lends to this cause, if you've got dollars that you can lend to this cause, if you say you care about Evanston's community, then no matter where you're at, no matter what resources you have, you owe it to Evanston's community to invest in this venture, because when any piece that is ailing is healed, the entire body functions better. So if we think of our community as a body, we've got an ailing limb that needs to be healed. And this goes a long way to doing that.
We want to create the village where it's female owned, Black female owned, and inside we have businesses, Black owned businesses, and businesses from our allies who are also willing to push the economy within the Black community. This in turn changes how education is received. It changes our crime in our streets and how it's perceived. Like, everything is attached to us being great. And if we're not great, everything falls apart. And we can talk politics all day, but we need our own to realize that we are valuable enough to have our own. I shouldn't be 42 years old thinking, well, can I do this? Should I do this? I don't know. And the fear is like, I want to quit every day. I want to be like, just forget it. But there's no way that we don't have nothing in this town. There's just no way. I'm trying to show up for my city because that's what they did for us. So thanks, Joe. And thanks for washing the kids' clothes because nobody else would.
Yeah.
And we need this amount of money to make our business profitable. This is beyond business. This is beyond profit. This is beyond the money aspect of it is needed in order for communities to be on pace to survive. We have to survive this. And if we think in, business doesn't matter here and how it heals communities, we are mistaken. So the call to action is now. The call to action is money, unfortunately, but the call to action is to see myself in a position where someone else can see themselves in me, and it just continues on for generations. So all these political discussions won't need to happen because they didn't happen when I was a kid, because we were surrounded by beauty, Blackness, business, everything. And now it's time for us to reinvent that, because we're losing our community in Evanston.